Hi everyone, I'm Connie.
And I'm Takumi.
And we're going to be talking about the Hobonichi Techo. So Takumi, this is your first ever Hobonichi season.
Mm-hmm. It's been quite busy around.
It's been a little crazy, but hopefully, well, we always get it together, but it's going to be like this for a couple more weeks.
Okay.
But since you're completely new to the Hobonichi, I wanted to know if you had any questions.
I guess to start, what is the Hobonichi Techo?
So the Hobonichi is a Japanese planner. It's really popular and it's really well known for having just enough structure for you to plan everyday events while giving you plenty of space for you to journal, scrapbook. It's very versatile in that sense. So if you're completely new to the Hobonichi, go ahead and stick around to the end where we'll talk about all the nitty-gritty details that you might want to know about. But I know for most of you, the thing you want to know about the most are the covers and the accessories. So we'll dive into that first. Ta-da! Here are all, or most of the covers that we'll be talking about today. There are more, don't worry. This is not everything, but it's what we could fit on our table. So, any questions about the covers?
So what makes the covers so special anyway?
So, this is the great part about Hobonichi. They release new covers every single year. And they collaborate with artists and brands. So, they collaborated with Mother in the past. They collaborated with One Piece. And this year's big collaboration to celebrate their 30th anniversary is with Tamagotchi. So here is the A6 cover. It is so cute. It's covered with the pixel illustrations of all the Tamagotchi. And there's Hobonichi's Tamagotchi. Its name is Techo. The little ribbon markers are its feet. And the butterfly pen loops are its beak. It's so cute. And there's even one on the back that's just taking a little nap. So this is the A6 cover. The A5 cover has the same print, and there's also a Weeks. So this is the Weeks. It's a little bit simpler, but still kind of the same idea. Lots of illustrations of the Tamagotchi, and it's made of the same material as bow ties. So it has like a nice little like textured fabric-y feel. If you want to take a look at that,
that feels really high quality. Actually,
it feels really nice. You can like really rub your fingers over it, which I love. So yeah, Tamagotchi is the big one, and I wanted to ask you if you had any of your own favorites.
So the one that stood out to me immediately was this one, which is by Kyohei Sakaguchi. And at first it looks like a photo, but it's actually a pastel painting, right? So I don't know, it's just so nice to look at. If it's something that I'm going to hold on to every day, it's definitely something I like to look at.
It's very relaxing. Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And the same artist did this cover, which is kind of like a cloudy blue sky. When I first saw them in the catalog, I thought it was just a photograph, but it's actually an oil pastel. It looks really, really realistic. It's so gorgeous. I love it.
That one especially looks like a photograph,
right?
Actually.
It's really nice. And then you had a second one.
Yes. So this one, I have to mention, it's hard to pick because do I want a nice one or something that like really makes me think? So this, it looks like kind of like scratch pad, like someone just scribbled all over it, right? But it's actually a poem that a lot of Japanese kids know, and adults too, because it's in the Japanese school curriculum. And it's a poem about this guy that aspires to live a certain way. And you don't really find out until the end of the poem that he was actually aspiring to be this way, rather than like describing another character. And the way he describes it, it kind of like gets you to think, to want to be that way too. So in reference to that, it's something that I would also consider. It's hard to pick between these two. So now that I've introduced my favorite covers, do you have a favorite cover?
I am always a sucker for the Yumi Kitagishi covers. I think they're just so charming. Like this one, this is the A6 cover. There's just something about it. I feel like I could stare at it all day. It's just covered in these really cute objects that are decorated with animals. And on the inside, it looks like there's little objects inside the pockets too. I just like, that's just such a nice detail. I really like this cover.
It almost feels like a little room. It feels cozy.
It feels like it's already lived in when you get it, which is kind of incredible. But I really like the Yumi Kitagishi covers. This is the A6 and this is the Weeks. So different designs, but they kind of have the same vibe to them. So I'm a little tempted by this one, I gotta say, but only a little bit. But I am tempted. Anyway, every single year, though, I have to say, there's always like a sleeper hit. There's a cover that we don't expect to be very popular, and somehow it just is.
Yeah.
And I think for this year, it's going to be the Galloping Horses design. So it's to celebrate the Chinese zodiac. 2026 is the year of the horse. And I don't know, there's just something really charming and retro about it. Just like the pretty horses, and there's little birds on it too. And this is the same bow and tie fabric as the Tamagotchi that I showed earlier. So it's like a really nice texture to it.
Yeah, it has a nice feel.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be the one that just pops off, and we're not going to know why, but it's just it.
It would go well with a fancy purse or something.
I think you're right about that. It's just really pretty. I think this is going to be the one that maybe sells out first. I don't know.
We asked some JetPens team members what their favorite covers were too, so we will stick them right here.
Unfortunately, we don't have time to talk about all the covers in this video, but you can click on the link in the card above to see our guide where we talk about all the covers. One thing I want to mention is that this year, the covers are not available separately. So if you get an A5 cover, you'll get an A5 cousin in English, and if you order the A6 cover, it'll come with an A6 original also in English. If you want the books by themselves though, those will be available.
So you mentioned that there were some accessories that go with the Hobonichi items?
Yes, so Hobonichi releases accessories like pencil boards, pouches, stickers. The thing that I'm most excited to talk about this year is that there are now color coordinating stickers for the cousin and the original. So here are just a few. These are dot stickers, but they match the colors that are actually in the cousin and the original. So if you want to use certain stickers for certain months, like they match perfectly, which is really amazing. I love these. But we also have the pencil boards. There's the Tamagotchi pencil board to go with the cover. It is so cute. They're like Tamagotchis at a theme park.
Yeah, they're having
so
fun.
Adorable. And then these are the Io Okumi pencil boards. This artist works in like embroidery. So I think they did a really good job kind of expressing that on this pencil board, even though it's not an embroidered pencil board, but I think the design still looks really, really nice here.
So there are different types of the Hobonichi Techo?
Yes, there are 4 different types, and it can be a little overwhelming. So I'll try to go through this as quickly as I can.
Okay.
So the 4 different formats are daily, weekly, monthly, and long-term. So let's go ahead and start with the daily planners.
Okay.
So as I'm sure you can tell, this planner is the most different. This is the planner with the capital P. They're all planners, but this is called the planner. The inside pages are a little bit different, so I'll hold that out right here and I'll show you the original, which is the A6. And you can see that there's a timeline on the side in the original. There are check boxes, and that's not in the planner. So the planner is a little more minimalist. If you don't really need all this like extra stuff, I think the planner would be a good fit for you. So that's the difference between the planner and the original. And the original, the Hon, the cousin, and the Avec, they all pretty much have the same daily page. The only difference really here is that the cousin is obviously a little bit bigger, but it also has a weekly timeline. So if I flip over here, you can see that there are these vertical columns in the beginning, and they have the hours written down. So
I see. It's just like Google Calendar.
yes, it's like very much like Google Calendar. If you're the type of person who likes to time block your schedule, like you need to write in meetings, or you just want to like make sure there's sections of your day, section out, this would probably be a really good fit for you. I will say though that if you don't really want the larger A5 size and you prefer the A6, Hobonichi does have a weekly calendar that has the vertical hourly trackers. And so you can carry the 2 books together, and that way you have basically the cousin, but in an A6 form.
So what about these 2 little ones right here?
So that's the Avec. It basically splits the original into 2 half-year books. So if you're the type of person who wants to carry your Techo with you on a daily basis, but you feel it might be a little too heavy if you carry the full book, the Avec might be a great option for you. And speaking of something a little bit different, there's also the Hon. So the Hon, the A6 is going to have the same pages as the original. The A5 is going to have the same pages as the cousin. But most of them are going to have hard covers, except for one, which is a soft cover.
Okay. So this is the weekly planner?
Yes. So this is the weeks, and I have right here the weeks mega. So the way Hobonichi makes their weekly planners is that there is the week on the left side, and then the right side is a gridded memo page. And if you need more space for notes, there's also space in the back. So even more memo pages in the back. So that's the weeks. The weeks mega has the exact same dated pages, But there are extra memo pages in the back. There's 3 times as many memo pages in the back. So if you are a person who loves to take notes, I think the Weeks Mega will probably be it for you.
Nice. And are there different types of covers for these?
Yes. So there are both hardcover and softcover options for the Weeks and the Weeks Mega. Ready to move on to the next one?
Yep.
All right. So this is going to be the day free. It has monthly calendars in the front and it has gridded pages in the back. So really nice if you only need to schedule some monthly events, but you mostly just want space to maybe write to-do lists, or if you like to draw in your own planner, I guess.
Nice. Okay. It's very compact.
Yeah, it's very slim. Actually, all of Hobonichi's planners are very slim. And that's because they use Tomoe River paper, which is a very thin, lightweight paper. And it's very smooth to write on. But it does have a couple quirks that you may not be used to if you're completely new to the Hobonichi. So one thing I will say is that some writing instruments, especially inky writing instruments, may bleed through a little bit, or you may see more of what's called ghosting or show through on the backside of the page. This is something that some people get used to really, really quickly, and some people are kind of like, it takes them a little bit to get used to it. But I think the benefits of Tomoe River paper outweigh the slight quirks.
This one definitely looks a little bit different. What is this one?
So this is going to be the long-term planner. This is the 5-year Techo. So if you take a look on the inside, you'll see that it is the same day over 5 years. So here are all the days right here. And then on the right side is a grid page. So you could write about, let's say, for example, like it's your birthday. What did you get that day? You know, did you celebrate with any special people? And then next year you could look back on it and then write a new entry.
It almost looks like a weekly planner, but it's in a year-by-year format.
Yeah, so this would be the 9th, and then the next page is the 10th, and then you would write about that same day all the way down.
Interesting idea.
We've created some bundles with our recommended pens for the Hobonichi Techo, as well as bundles that match the colors in the original and cousin. We tested them all in-house here at JetPens, so you can be sure that they're great fits. I've only talked about the basics in this video, so if you would like to learn more, click the link in the card above to read our guide.
So from a newbie perspective, I would consider getting the weekly mega, or the daily ones. And I probably won't write that much, so I would probably get a smaller one, unless I just decide I want to draw more. So I'm thinking that's a good way to choose your planner.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that if you would rather focus on planning in your Techo, you may want to stick with the smaller sizes, like the, A6 original or the Weeks. But if you prefer to draw, journal, scrapbook along with your planning, or if you just plan to use the Techo for journaling, you may want to go with the larger size just because the page is bigger. There's more space for your journaling or your scrapbooking. Thanks for going on the Hobonichi Techo journey with me, Takumi.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining what the Hobonichi encompasses.
I know it's a lot, but it's kind of sounds like you've decided on switching to the Hobonichi for this year.
I definitely have a good idea, and I do want the weekly, maybe the weekly mega.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to see that we've converted you to the side of the Hobonichi Techo.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Some of you may have heard that the paper in the 2025 Hobonichi Techo was more inconsistent than expected, with show-through and bleed-through. Hobonichi actually sent us a sample of the 2026 paper, and we tested it with all kinds of writing instruments. Ballpoint pens, gel pens, rollerball pens, markers, fountain pens, you name it, we tested it. And I will say that there was a little bit of bleed-through with wetter pens, but overall the performance was a lot better. There was a lot less show-through and a lot less bleed-through than what I expected from last year. So that's great. It's always nice to see Hobonichi improving their products in response to customer feedback. But I do want to add that because paper is a natural material, there's going to be some variance in performance due to factors like humidity. So your performance with the Hobonichi Techo might be a little bit different. 2026 Hobonichi Techo items will be available at jetpens.com on August 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Be sure to check out our guides to learn more about the Hobonichi Techo, and thanks for watching.